I want to give one real incident that took place yesterday. This 89-year-old woman has been with me almost for the last 15 years. She does one session every week. So, yesterday when we met, she told me that she is suffering. I said, "Oh, you are quite healthy, everything is fine. What happened to you?" She said, my son has two heart attack and hence I am also, because he is suffering, so I am suffering. I didn't say anything, until I started the session. I normally ask people in a private session, last week, how many times you were anxious, you were reactive? Tell me. And why? Then I suddenly asked her, I'm hungry, can you eat for me? I have a nurse to go to the restroom, can you go for me? Can you sleep for me? No, no, how can? Are you crazy? I said, yes. Can you take suffering of anyone, including your son? So she started staring at me. She said, no. Then why are you suffering? That is the beauty of karma yoga. When we understand what exactly is the karma yoga and we apply, when to apply, just here and now, in the family, in relationship, at professional, at social, at all levels, because life is action and action is life. Here in karma yoga, no ego. You use the word I, me, mine. Yes, everything is okay. You are doing only karma, always ego is there, and the ego is full of fear, anxiety, duality, conflict, problems, suffering. Karma yoga recognizes as such that there is no ego at all. That is delusion. If there is no space, I cannot move my hand. Do you recognize that? It's a part of the great design by the existence. There is no light, I cannot see you. So when we recognize that there is no called ego, doer and the enjoyer in us, actions are happening. So I remain a knower, a meditator, and in meditation, in real self. And from the real self, you think, speak, and act in your life. I jump to the higher level of the karma yoga. I'm summarizing everything. You have heard about satoguna, rajoguna, tamoguna. They are doing all the actions. Last week, I just explained the pendulum. Activity and the rest, activity and the inertia. I have to stand in the middle. But let us see how to understand this in another way. I jump to advance. Now, every time you say that we are doing higher, yes, until you reach there. Meditation, I started saying living wisely. Why? It is a state of being. No, no, what is that state of being? It is real self, it is pure consciousness. That is all pervading, that is unchanging, that is permanent. That is the nature of peace and happiness. So all your actions, your thoughts and speech and action are coming, being expressed, manifesting out of the real self, not from the ego. No, I'm beautiful, that's why I have an ego. Even at the age of 64 years, you see my beauty. Say yes, yes. But I want to know behind the skin and the body, which is 64 years old? Is protein 64 years old? Is carbohydrate 64-year old? Tell me. Which is? So it means I am crazy. I am constantly creating a delusion. Creating a delusion in my life. So once you create a delusion in your life, then you are bound to suffer. Delusion leads to ignorance. Come back. So meditation is this. What is, now we have understood what is living wisely. But how to understand the opposite? What is living unwisely? I've already covered. I'm summarizing it. Where is living unwisely? Living unwisely means living by the mind that is regulated, dictated by instinct and impulses, habits. Animals are living by automated survival mechanism. Do you recognize that? So when we say automated survival mechanism, it is programmed by the nature. Do I want to be programmed by the nature? So what is that difference between these two? Can you make out? How to express that? I can also be programmed and automated, controlled by the nature. That is one. Animals are done. But I recognize that now I am carried away by the instinct and impulses. Same thing, whether you say ego or instinct and impulses. But I recognize it. Animals do not recognize. Do you see that? We both eat, we both have a reproduction, we both have all the safety, security, food, eat, sleep, etc. Impulse, what the science says, is the natural urge, automatic urge to survive. And instincts are emotional, physical, mental, intellectual reaction. Keep in mind the difference, and find out the answer. What happened? I recognize and animals do not recognize. Say, you have won the Miss Universe title. I'm addressing the women. For example, you return home and your pet dog jumps on you, and dog says, "Yes, I have recognized you are a Miss Universe." Does it happen? And in a delusion, you say, "No, no, you are jumping. I know I have won the Miss Universe. That is why you are jumping on me. Today I find that you love little more than we do it. I'm just, uh, what do you say? I'm just, pricking? Yes, pricking your mind to understand that part. Oh, look at this beer guy. Huh? I gave a wonderful lesson. Do you recognize my pet dog? No, I don't have any, so I'm just telling. Or I'm the rich and the poor. Recognize the two things. Animals, self-awareness is programmed. Our self-awareness, we can be free or we leave it to be controlled by the nature. Now we are talking about the karma yoga. Yes, I'm talking about the karma yoga. Understand? Do animals have ego? Question. They don't have ego, so they don't need to practice karma yoga. If they have an ego, then mosquito will sit on my hand and say, no, I don't like you, so I will sit on the hand of a brandy. There is no doer and enjoyer in them. Mosquito is programmed, sits on the hand, sucks the blood, and says, okay, I got it. They don't have the doer and the enjoyer. All living species, all living species except human beings, except human beings, are offered an automated survival mechanism. We have coined a new word for it. You see that how good we are observing the animal. We say ecosystem. Huh? Do you understand? Tiger depends on deer depends on forest, grass, vegetable kingdom. You see? Then there is a river. Oh, that is what we call a forest ecosystem. We have forgotten our ecosystem. That's a problem. We don't recognize it. That's why we live in stress and suffering in our life. Go a little further. Nature offers all the animals everything that they need. Do you think the tiger sits down, closes his eyes, and says, no, let me understand how many desires I have? I have to fulfill all the desires, including the mosquito, the ant, the elephant. The question remains, you have to answer in your mind. What is that which differentiate between me as a human being and the animals? They don't think. So you see that nature offers them everything that they need. Tiger is given the forest, animals to prey, and then we unnecessarily we want to discuss. We put a wrong logic. Oh, tiger is eating the meat, hence I am eating. Oh, so you are a tiger. Okay, I accept it. Very good. No, no, why you are a tiger? You are a mosquito. All animals are alike. I don't agree with me, but contemplate and reflect. These are the teachings of the masters. So tiger or all animals are given what they need in the nature. Do you agree? Say yes. What else they need? Tell me. Does the tiger say, I want a big elephant today? I'm not interested in deer. Oh, you have time, you watch the Discovery Channel. Yes, I was watching those polar bears, and they have squirrels during the spring season, and they were so much hungry. They said, whatever is available, let me take it. It is automated. Clear? We are going deeper. Tell who are missing this session they should go for it. Tiger now ask if tiger has a ego. It will say, no, 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 I do not like deer. Oh, I have to wait for an elephant. Waiting for an elephant, whether I can find it or not. That waiting is expectation, that desire, and that desire creates a doer in me in order to become an enjoyer. That doer and the enjoyer is ego. That is what we have been doing since our birth until today. Our master says karma yoga. No, we are coming. But what is the answer? What is the answer? Answer is that all the animals live with the lower self-awareness. They have self-awareness. You cannot deny that. They have a limited self-awareness. We have a higher self-awareness. No, no, but you are talking about you. Wait, wait, wait. I'm coming to that. We are understanding. Tiger, even though very strong, very alert, stronger than we humans, have a limited self awareness. Now, how can you prove that? Put an open cage and put a sheep inside. Because of the higher self awareness, I have a perspective. There is a cage, there is a sheep, and then should I go inside? No. Tiger watches, limited self awareness. Focus is where? On the cage or the sheep? So, from why it is on the sheep? Automated mechanism. Did you understand that? Say yes. So the moment the tiger enters into the cage, closed. I'm suffering because of you, case. Because you are suffering, so I should also cry. Okay, cry, keep on crying. Our self awareness, we live with a higher self awareness because we know I I know that I need not to enter into the cage, but take food out of the cage and eat it if I want. Limited self-awareness. I'm not saying that they do not have. Another difference is that they are not a thinker. Because thought gives me the knowledge, right knowledge or wrong knowledge, that's a different. I'm coming to karma yoga by making you clear why we have to do. Animals need ego to live and regulate their lives? No. Limited self awareness has a chip, a semiconductor inside their brain. So, nature has provided a semiconductor in the tiger to prey animals, in the deer to eat grass. Are you clear? Are you becoming clear? Say yes. Otherwise, listen to it. So nature gives each one of them for survival, gives them their limited intelligence. My intellect is free. I can choose, I can observe, I can think. That is the meaning of higher level of self-awareness. Are you getting it? Yes, I'm getting it. All animals are given what they need for survival. Their physical survival. They grow. Look at another example that you will be surprised, and why you should be surprised. We all are human beings, so we have no surprises. So all animals are given what they need for physical survival. Forest, deer for the tiger, grass for the deers, earth for the forest. See the entire ecosystem. Plants get water, sun, limited self awareness. We are living in a semi desert area, so there are different plants because of the semiconductor. They are put by the nature in them. So now answer another question, because we are doing karma yoga to purify the mind, to get rid of this ego. So why ego is not developed in animals? Because of the conductor, semiconductor. For them, security, food, sleep, and reproduction all are operated by the instinct and impulses, whatever you say, from generation to generation. What about the human being? Nature is there, but something more is there. We are also given everything, no doubt about it. No, no, no. Then what? What do you want to say? I want to say that you see how the self awareness, we live with a higher self awareness, and the self awareness continues to grow. So, what is the factor the nature has provided in us? Let me put it in a negative way. We do not start jumping just after the birth. We are helpless. Do you understand that? Cubs, babies of the animals. Huh? Look at the cow. The cub is born and they stand up, jump. They search the breast of a cow, mother. What about us? What about us? The mother approaches the kids. Now I'm talking of human being. I have left the animal. You are talking of higher self-awareness, and now you have brought the human race down. No, it is because I'm helpless, because the outer situations, it approaches me, so I can raise my awareness. That is why the mother approaches the babies in case of a human race. You leave. If my mom left me at the time of the birth, I'm going there, I will return after. I will not chase my mom. Are you understanding that point? I will cry, but I will not change. Crying is a part of the automatic survival mechanism, but I'm still helpless. Crying is not going to help me unless the mom approaches me. Opposite in other animals. Opposite. Oh, so do you mean they are not living at a higher level of awareness? No, they are automated. From there, the learning starts. Human being needs to make an effort by self-awareness. I-ness takes birth. I-ness is the product of self-awareness in the beginning. I'll take a couple of more sessions on the karma yoga, but I'm just making so Animals do not need a mental maturity. They already have a chip. They have to work according to the chip created by the nature. Our mind is evolving, constantly evolving. Why it is evolving? Because there is an I-ness, there is an individuality. By learning, we create an individuality that I'm different from you, you're different from me. These are the traits that makes us a difference. For mental maturity, we need an ego, and now you are saying that you have to transcend ego. Wait. Once we do not understand this, we cannot reach to the highest state of meditation or mindfulness. We have a higher self-awareness, no doubt. We have a goal of life. We have goals in life. So how do I understand that there is a goal of life? It is because of the individuality. And that individuality is ego. So first there is an ego, then I recognize an effort, then I try to implement, perform my action in order to realize my goal. I'm summarizing and then I will take it again. So now you have contradicted yourself. There lies the solution in contradiction. We have to move in between, exactly in the middle of the contradictions. So, how Master expresses? Master says ego is a helper in the beginning. Once we recognize that there is a chip in us also to regulate our security, our safety, our reproduction, then ego is a barrier. Did you understand this part? Ego is a helper until the individuality is fully developed. After that, this ego repeats itself. And that repetition strengthens the ego, that makes me fall into delusion. And once I am into the delusion, then there is no end of the suffering. We are not able to understand this ego part. Hence, the karma yoga has to be done. That not only purifies the mind, but the doer and the enjoyer are missing. For those great enlightened masters, even they appear that they have done, they are doing everything, they are speaking. Speaker is there, doer is there, and enjoyer is there. But deeper inside, that is missing because the ego is a barrier. Tiger follows the ecosystem. They need not to organize the resources. I have to organize the resources. How I will take my next meal. Ego is a helper. Now I'm more beautiful than you. Ego is a barrier. Are you getting it? Ego is a barrier when we create. Do you remember? When we create a fake me and mine. That is why I started with this 88, 89 years old woman. No, no, are you so cruel? My son has a heart attack, and then that is why I am suffering. And you say that you should not suffer. So there the ego identifies, attaches. First, the ego is not there. It's because of the ignorance. I create that. Then I am attached. Then attachment creates a clinging. And then I have a feeling that I am suffering. but you cannot take the suffering of anyone. If you are hungry, you cannot. No one can eat for you. We forbid this. Development of ego in the beginning is a helper to organize resources of the nature for security, for pleasure, and other needs. Ego is a barrier when we create me and mine. We are identified with the body and mind. As long as this identification remains, no chance of reaching to the highest state of meditation or mindfulness. Karma Yoga says there is nothing inside which I can say I, me, I. We only say I because of me and mine. First, that fake I depends on the body. It says, "Yeah, here I am," so it means I'm the body. I'm a teacher. So fake I says, yes, you are teaching, that's right. Body is working on its own way. Mind is working on its own way. We create a fake I, that ego now is a barrier. In the beginning, it is helper. So, helper and the barrier here, and you are in the middle. That is mindfulness. This week, following these couple of days, you wake up in the morning, keep in that awareness. The moment you experience any pleasure, it is enjoyer, ego. The moment you feel any pain, discomfort, it is the doer, painer, or feeler. Recognize it and continue doing your activities. The moment you recognize consciously, it will simply disappear. That is why all master says that you live from moment to moment. So those who are not the seekers, then if you teach them, on Google I see that. And live from moment to moment. So what is your state now? I am in deep stress. So you are living from moment to moment. Continue to increase your stress. That's the teaching of a non-seeker. Now I can go on talking. Close your eye. Let us close your eye.